She texted, "I need a break. Please don't destroy my stuff." That was the last thing anyone ever heard from Katlyn Harp. But when police found her body in a shallow grave on a property her husband used to own, it became clear that taking a break wasn't her idea at all. And what they uncovered next about her husband's past will leave you stunned. If you've ever watched someone manipulate, control, and ultimately destroy the people closest to them, and wished justice would finally catch up, hit that like button, subscribe, and get ready. Because this isn't just a crime story. It's a haunting reminder that monsters don't hide under beds. Sometimes, they sleep next to you. The night air was still, quiet. The kind of small-town stillness where you can hear wind through the trees and neighbors' doors closing across the street. At exactly 9:03 p.m., a text message was sent from Katlyn Harp's phone. "I need a break. Some friends are picking me up. Please don't destroy my stuff. I just need some space to get out my head." No one ever saw Katlyn again after that. At first glance, the message seemed simple. A tired wife needing space. But to those who knew Katlyn, the spelling error wasn't like her. And the tone felt off. Robotic. Almost manufactured. Part 2. The Mask of Vincent Harp. Her husband, Vincent Lloyd Harp, didn't seem overly concerned. When questioned, he told police she probably just needed a breather. That she had a habit of going quiet when she was overwhelmed. That she'd be back. "She gets like this," he said. "She needs to clear her head." But something about his calmness felt wrong. Neighbors noticed. Friends noticed. Even her mother, Ellen, couldn't shake the feeling in her gut. She would never leave like that. Not without calling me. Not without seeing her daughter. Katlyn had a 10-year-old girl from a previous relationship. Her world revolved around her. For her to vanish into the night without even a goodbye? That didn't make sense. But Vincent. He kept his story straight. Too straight. He even told one officer, "If she wants to come back, she will. But I won't beg. That's not who I am." To understand what really happened, we need to rewind. Back to 2018, when Katlyn and Vincent met. At first, he was charming. Soft-spoken. Attentive. He held the door open, remembered her favorite coffee, texted her good night without fail. Katlyn had been through her share of bad relationships. She thought maybe, finally, this one was different. But the shift came fast. First, he'd criticize her choices. Her clothes. Her parenting. Her friends. Then, he started isolating her. "Why do you need to hang out with them? They don't respect me. You should be focusing on your family, not gossiping over brunch." Slowly, Katlyn's world got smaller. Friends she once laughed with every week disappeared. Family phone calls became fewer and further between. Her confidence, the spark people loved in her, dimmed. But here's where the story turns darker. Because Vincent Harp had done this before. Court documents revealed that in 2018, Vincent's former wife, Stephanie Harp, had filed police reports against him. Terroristic threats. Simple assault. Reckless endangerment. The charges were horrifying. Stephanie had claimed he once smashed her phone for talking back. Another time, she said he held her down and screamed in her face for hours. She escaped the marriage, but not without trauma. Then, in 2021, Stephanie Harp died. The details of her death are still unclear, but many close to her now wonder, did she really pass peacefully? 2 wives. 2 stories. 1 terrifying pattern. By June 22, 3 days after Katlyn vanished, her mother had filed a missing persons report. Police visited the home. Spoke with Vincent again. Still, he maintained calm. Said he hadn't heard anything since the message. That maybe she was with friends. But when asked which friends, he couldn't name a single one. That was the crack. From there, investigators pulled phone records. Surveillance. Interviewed her co-workers, her family, her daughter's school. No one had heard a word. And then, the turning point. A tip came in. Anonymous. A whispered phone call. Check 86 Harp Lane. He used to own land out there. No one's been out there in months. That's all I can say. Police arrive at the rural 38-acre lot at 86 Harp Lane. Technically, Vincent Harp no longer owned it. He sold it in 2023. But the land was untouched. Secluded. Dense woods and an old utility barn. Overgrown grass. No neighbors for half a mile. And behind a crumbling shed, something caught their eye. Freshly overturned soil. A smell. They started digging. By 3:15 p.m., Columbia County Coroner Jeremy Reese stood silently over a shallow grave. The body was unmistakable. Katlyn Harp. Dead. Decomposing. Alone. She didn't walk away from home. She was dumped. When police brought Vincent in for questioning, the calm exterior cracked. At first, he repeated the same lines. She wanted space. I didn't even know she was gone that long. I never touched her. But when confronted with GPS data from his truck, proving he visited Harp Lane on June 20th, just hours after she left, his face dropped. Then came the photos. Dirt on his boots. Shovel from his garage. Text messages that, upon forensic analysis, appeared to be typed by him, not her. He stayed silent. And then, finally, she said she was leaving me. Said she was taking the girl. Said I was a failure. Vincent Lloyd Harp was arrested that night. Charged with criminal homicide, abuse of a corpse, tampering with evidence, held without bail. Katlyn never filed police reports. Never told the full story of her marriage. Not to anyone, not even her mother. But in the weeks following her death, pieces started to surface. A journal entry, found tucked behind a mirror. He makes me feel crazy. Like I'm always wrong. Sometimes I stare at the back door and wonder what it would take to walk through it. A text to a friend from April. I don't know how much more I can take. It's like I'm not even me anymore. And then, a photo from 2022. Katlyn, sunglasses on indoors. A bruise near her collarbone. Everyone missed the signs. Until it was too late. On July 19th, Vincent Harp will appear in court for his preliminary hearing. But the real sentence, many say, has already been passed, by the truth. Katlyn may not have escaped the way she hoped. But the lies didn't hold. The mask cracked. And justice, however slow, is finally knocking. Vincent thought he'd outsmarted everyone. That a text message, a fake story, and a quiet burial would cover his tracks. But in trying to erase her, he left fingerprints everywhere. From the property he thought no one remembered, to the digital trail he didn't think they'd check, to the people she loved, who refused to stop asking questions. Vincent Harp now sits in a cold cell. No control. No power. No wife. Just silence. The same kind he used to manipulate. Only this time, it's his cage. We often think of monsters as loud, chaotic, obvious. But the worst ones are quiet, charming, manipulative. They gaslight you until you question your own reality, until you forget who you were before them. Katlyn never got to tell her story in her own words. But now, we tell it for her. If this story gave you chills, hit that like button and leave a comment. What's the biggest red flag you've ever ignored in someone? Don't forget to subscribe for more true crime stories.